Nice. Thank you very much. All right, we got 2 songs left. One of these songs is called The Hard Way. So a lot of bands cover this song. A lot of fucking guys sing it. I never saw anybody as good as this dude from Crown of Thorns, man. Isaac. And Isaac is going to help me sing this song tonight. Now I can see through your hate and your lies. Beg me to step on, close my eyes. We were the best of friends that you never knew. Oh yes, I thought my private was the safe for you. Now you shut me out, turn your back on me. Makes it so clear to me that you redeemed. You just say it, tell me what to do. And you get his girlfriend, tells you to go. Now I can see hate in your life. Beg me to step on, close my eyes. Beg me to step on, close my eyes. Beg me to close my eyes. We were the best of friends and you never knew. Yes, I thought my private thoughts is safe with you. Now you shut me out, turn your back on me. Makes it so clear to me you'll never see. Let's go. All right, everyone. Come on, quick. Let's go. Yo, everyone, fuck this place up. At the world out of the way! I don't like me! What's the lie? There's nothing to show for it! We're not of us! This nutrition is our crime! Not to be a sin! Gotta get back while you get ahead! That's my turn away! Ah! Can't take over! Been the victim for far too long. Trying to even a score. Gotta fight the hard way. There's no easy way out. Nothing can keep me in this world. That's what life is about. I've been a nice guy once too often. I don't get through. Sacrifice myself. You'll be the end. I'll do you what's wrong, Ruth. I got to realize you don't care. You left me on my own. Brother Jackson, yo, rock up. I'll do the luck. I'm so that I can't take no more. Been a victim for far too long. Time to even the storm. Gotta fight the whole way. There's a reason way out. Nothing comes easy in this world. That's what life is about. Fuck it up. Last chance. Last chance. Yeah. Oh, baby. Outburst, motherfucker! Yeah! We New York hardcore!
What's happening, boys and girls, kids of all ages? It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. It's alive, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, and Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards. What's happening? What's up? Good to see you. It is. I missed you. What's up, Lenny? How's things in Queens? Vinny Doak, what's up, bro? Scott, what's happening? Tampa, Florida in the house. Well, I'm just right down the road. I'm right down the road. You wonder, wait, hold on. Where's my, yeah, okay. Hey, I'm right down the road in lovely Delray Beach. So, greetings from Florida. I'm coming back to New York tomorrow. So all good, man. You know? Yes, Chucky, New York Hardcore represent. What's happening, Andrew, in Nuremberg, Germany? My man. What's going on in Nuremberg? Right on, right on. Yeah, that Outburst to open the show. Fuck yeah, man. That was awesome. Yep. Shuffleboard for all my friends. What's happening in Denmark, Steen? I hope you're well, buddy. Renee in Holland. You know, it is shout out Sunday. So if anybody got a shout out, oh, Clearwater Beach. Clearwater Beach represent. There you go. What's up, Yuri? Yeah, man. I'm doing it with the duck in the pool. You know, doing it up. Hope everybody's well. What can I say? It's still a crazy world out there. There's still zombies out there biting people. I'm on a plane tomorrow. I fly a lot. I fly now. I fly more during the pandemic than I did, you know, before the pandemic. It's crazy. Hey, I want to tell you about a couple of shows coming up. This Wednesday, super excited about this Wednesday. We have producer Ed Stasium on the show, who has produced many a great record, including Biohazard, Living Color, Motorhead, The Smithereens, Misfits. I've known this guy for a while, and this is going to be a great one. I mean, we're going to have a lot to talk about here. And Ed's a great guy with an incredible history. He played guitar on some of the Ramones records. You know, he produced Biohazard State of the World Address and New World Disorder. I'm really excited to have Ed on the show. I'm rounding up a couple of special guests as well. I'm also going to screen some never-before-seen footage that I have of when I was in the studio with Ed Stasium and he was producing Biohazard State of the World Address. So I have some footage that's never before been seen. We're going to screen some of it during the show. So that should be pretty cool. Also, a week from today, we have Israel from the Bad Brains and Fireburn on the show. You asked for it, you got it. People are excited about that. Israel's a great guy. We're going to talk to him about, you know, he sang on the great Rise, Bad Brains Rise album. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And of course, Fireburn with Todd Youth. So we have Israel. And then also, not to forget, this is a good one. We got the singer for Discharge coming on the show. We got Jeff J.J. Janik, a New Jersey guy. Go figure. He was in Dead Heroes in Jersey, and then Wait, was Dead Heroes in Jersey, or was that when he went to the UK? Dead Heroes, and then he was in Broken Bones, and then he made his way to Discharge. So JJ's a great guy. We're looking forward to having him on the show as well. And then what else? Oh, let me announce this one while we're at it. Yo, Mike and Kim from Channel 3 are coming on the show. What's up? Little West Coast flavor. Come on. A little West Coast flavor. We got Mike and Kim from Channel 3. So that's cool. Looking forward to that. That said, I wonder what Stephen Hardcore Shutterbug Messina is doing right now. What's up?
What's up? I'm trying to control. I'm speeding my face off. Is what's up?
You're speeding your face off? Nice.
I had
what
two
are you doing?
giant.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Two giant cups of coffee.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me you're doing crystal meth or coke or something.
No, nothing like that here. There's no Heisenberg going on here. But
Is that what you do to pay the bills?
Listen, you got to.
Hey, I got to shout out Bob Riley, man. I love you, Bob. Fucking love you, Bob Riley. Get your fucking shit together and come on the show. Come on, bro. It's fucking 2000. It's almost 2021. Fucking Riley, you know
that guy's collection is ridiculous.
Yo, see, everybody wants you on the show, Bob. Come on. So there you go. Anyway, let's jump right into it, huh? Let's get down. Let me see. Photo of the day. Photo of the day. Here we go. Boom. Photo of the day. Huh. Interesting. Let's see. Anybody? Let's hear it. You sent me a couple of these, right?
Yeah, that was a good night.
Okay, there's one. What's up, Drew? It's Josh from Barely Legal. What's up, Josh? East Coast Mini Vloggers. What's up, brother? What's happening, Larry the Hunter? Are you excited to play the show at Barry Electric? We're going to talk about it later on. Okay, Toby and Civ.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let me post the other photo that you sent me from that bunch. Here you go. What the fuck is this? Hold on. Okay. Anybody? What is this? Let's see. Civ and H2O. All right. So I think that's Lou from Sick of It All on the left, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. One last one from that series. Here you go. All right. So here's my guess. Here's my guess. Being that you're a Long Island guy and half the fucking shit that we post on the show is from the Crazy Donkey.
The Crazy Donkey
in fucking Farmingdale. My bet is that this is shot at the Crazy Donkey.
You get the stuffed animal. You get the stuffed animal.
And
that's it.
Is this the Three Musketeers of Hardcore?
It's the Three Tenors. It's the.
Is it a hardcore sing along?
I'll tell you. Yeah, it was. This was, I believe, this was 2008, and yes, this was a Crazy Donkey, and it was. I think the show itself was Sick of It All H2O, and this was during H2O's set, and amazing. And of course, they brought Civ out. They brought Lou out, and it was just madness, you know. And you know, one of my favorite places to see shows. I miss it, you know. Like, you know, out here on Long Island, we don't have as many good places for bands to play. And you know, we got Amityville Music Hall, we got Revolution, but the Crazy Donkey was a great place, great shows. And in fact, it's funny because I go back into those pictures and I find pictures of like Drew shooting video at
Going
like
back
an
15,
AF show.
going back 15 years, right?
And we're looking for a picture. I'm like, Drew, I think this is you, and but that was such a great room. And I think it's like a catering hall now or something.
Yeah.
But
in Farmingdale.
Yeah, right across from the airport.
Right. Oh yeah. What, there's an airport in Farmingdale?
Oh yeah. There's an airport right there.
Cool.
And but that was, I mean, I loved it because it was the kind of room where you can, you're right on top of the band is right on top of you, and and now also
this is a H2O show.
Right. Well, this was during the H2O set. It was actually H2O and Sick of It All was the bill.
Right.
And but yeah, this is during the H2O set that everybody came up.
Got it. All right.
And,
so be it. How's things? It's Sunday. You're not working today, huh?
No, not working. I worked yesterday overtime, and I was very excited because I had a chance. They put a giant bronze gorilla in the middle of the Hudson Yards.
Nice.
So
you had to go see it.
I said, I'll take the overtime. I'm going to go hang out. And this huge gorilla where you could actually sit in the hand of the gorilla.
Oh, cool.
It's too bad it wasn't there when we had the Planet of the Apes episode. I could have shot right from there. So
here's a question from Blenderhead Ryan. Hey, Stephen, is it true there was a Lamours in Comac called Lamours East? I heard it was
Lamours Far East.
Because Lamours East was on Queens Boulevard.
Yes, Lamours East was in Queens. Lamours Far East is walking distance from my house.
And how long was that? I never even heard of that.
Oh, it was amazing. It was there for a couple of years. It changed its name after a while from Lamours Far East to Showcase.
Wow.
But before that, it was called like Dimensions or something. I mean,
that's such a great name for a club in Long Island, like Dimensions.
Oh yeah, that was it was one of those things. It was Baby Huey's. It was, but it was Lamours Far East. I saw Motorhead there. I mean, in a shopping center. I keep pointing in a shopping center around the block from my house.
Showcase Theater.
No, it's called Lamours Far East, and then it was called Showcase. But like Nuclear Assault was there. I saw Exodus and MOD there.
Cool.
That's a great place, and literally like, it's like a 10-minute walk from my.
Anybody you want to shout out? It's Shout Out Sunday.
It is. You know what? It is Shout Out Sunday, so I want to shout out my guys in Serial Poets, Rob Granger, who I know is watching, and you know what? Shout out my friend Jimmy Ferrari from Brooklyn Blast Furnace, and you know what? I'm just happy. Like, where's our friend Rat Bones? Who usually he's out doing something. Probably hunting for toys, and wait. You know what? I'm gonna shout out one more person. Oh, he doesn't want to come here. I was gonna shout out my cat Daryl, but I can't reach him.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you a little bit later on. Thanks, man.
You got it. See ya.
Well, there you go. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, the Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, and the Organic Grill. Let me tell you something. About all this noise. How about the Organic Grill? It's a vegan restaurant located in the East Village of New York City at 123 First Avenue, featured in New York Magazine, the New York Times, and Veg News. Their dishes have won numerous awards, including Best Veggie Burger. They make their own cheeses, sausages, and burger patties, and every dish on the menu could be made gluten-free for all you gluten-free motherfuckers, as John Joseph would say. This year, they are celebrating their 20th anniversary, and they are all about having a great time while enjoying amazing, clean food. After 3 months of being closed, they're now open for deliveries. Get in touch with them and order some great food at www.theorganicgrill.com. Also, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards is located in Lakewood, Colorado. It's the Rocky Mountain headquarters for all things punk, hardcore, and metal. Established in 2014, they have the largest selection of records, CDs, shirts, stickers, patches, and accessories between Chicago and Los Angeles. From the pit to the ditch, they got your back. Get in touch with them at www.chainreactionrecords.com. That said, what else we got going here? Who else? Oh, you know what? Got a shout out. I know this is crazy, but got into this thing today about the Stone Roses. I don't know much about the Stone Roses. I sort of peripherally heard them. I know they're from Manchester. I know they're part of the Manchester sound, but somehow they came into my orbit today. Astoria Lou is a big fan. He sent me some stuff. And Robert Hogg up in Scotland absolutely loves them, sent me a bunch of links, and I listened to their stuff today a little bit. So it's Shout Out Sunday, and I got to shout out to Stone Roses. Feliciano, what up, Drew? It's been a minute, and all the A7 crew miss you all. Bro, we miss you too, man. And, that reminds me that we are doing a benefit for A7 and for Bowery Electric. Stigma's playing, and let me get all the banners out of the way. Stigma's playing. The very controversial Antidote New York Hardcore is playing. The Craze are playing, and please support this event. Tickets are available at www.theboweryelectric.com. Listen, we're doing this as a benefit to support these venues. Whether you like the bands or not, who gives a shit? Support this fucking thing, will you? And everybody loves Stigma, right? So, yeah. So that said, yes, rest in peace, Justin Townes Earl. Listen, a couple of people have passed away recently. I just want to give respects to Walter Lure from the Heartbreakers and the Waldos, Frankie Bonelli from Quiet Riot, of course, Justin Townes Earl, who I knew personally, Enrique Masada from New Jersey Bloodline, Riley Gale from Power Trip, and of course, our good friend, Patrick Doyle from Black and Blue. So rest in peace, all you guys. What else? This is Richie Cipriano's partner in crime in War Orphan. I'll hang in there, Dante, because I think Sid the Kid's coming on, and he's super stoked on you guys. Let me get a shout out. LOL. Well, where are you? You want to shout out? I'll bring you on. You could shout someone out. Yeah. So there you go. This show, by the way, Stigma, Antidote, NYHC, and the Craze. It's a live streaming show to support these venues. We're all playing full sets, and there's going to be a lead-in show. This starts at 6:00. The lead-in show we're setting up right now on Sunday, on that same day. And the lead-in show, our guest is going to be, it looks like, Craig Silverman from Agnostic Front and formerly of Slapshot. So that's what's going to be leading into this show. So everybody better be there. Buy a ticket, man. Just buy a fucking ticket and support this fucking thing, will you? That said, please check in. What else? Hey, bro, are you going to go on and on about the street bike shit, my whole show, dude? Let's get up old school street run, get all the boys back for a street ride, DTE, barely legal, reckless method, street fighters, LFG. Are you going to go through my whole show going on about the old street bike days, bro? Many people don't know I had a whole career at one point directing extreme sports films. So, once in a while people turn up. So that's cool. Anyway, let's keep it moving. You know what? I want to bring our guest on, and let me get rid of that banner. There you go. Oh, you know what? Speaking of banners, do you know about my Patreon page? Yes? No? Maybe so? Check out the Patreon page. That's how you can support the show. That's how you can support me as an artist. Go check it out. It's important. There's cool shit on there. I just released a bunch of stuff that's never before been seen. So go check it out. I love you too, bro. I'm just busting your balls. Yes, rest in peace, Raleigh from Power Trip. Not a New York hardcore band, but loved by everyone. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. There you go. Okay. Let's bring our guest on. It is time for this on this Sunday. on this laid back Sunday, laid back with my gin and juice. Hello. All right. Okay. Stop distracting me. Let me get these fucking banners off. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Today's guest. Here we go. Today's guest is an American drummer of Filipino heritage, hailing from the great borough of Queens, New York, an alumni of St. John's Prep as well as St. John's University. He is best known for his work in the New York hardcore band Outburst. Please welcome Astoria, Queens represent, my friend and yours, Joe Songco. What's happening, bro?
Hey, Drew. What's up, everybody?
Hey, Joe.
I like the Filipino bit. That was not a lot of people touch on that.
You know what? I was going to ask you if you were cool with that, and then I thought,
yeah,
you know, it's a crazy world. You know, it's like,
yeah, it's nice. I think we were on tour with Terror in Europe last year, and Chris Link, the bassist, walks up to me the first day, and he's like, "Are you Filipino?" And I'm like, I looked at him like, yeah, you are too, right? Like we have like you know how dogs can like sniff each other out? Not the dogs, but we did the same thing. And then, you know, there's Chris Enriquez from Spotlights, and on the Might of Princes, he's also one of us. So,
and also, is it the guys in Death Angel?
Yes, from Cali. Yeah,
that's right.
And Bruno Mars. So shout out to Bruno Mars if you're watching.
Oh, shouting out Bruno Mars on the
go. He's one of us. But thanks for having me. Appreciate this. And, you know, you did your in memoriam segment to all the people that recently passed. So I just wanted that was really nice. And, you know, thank you for recognizing them. And before we kick off, I just wanted to shout out in particular this segment. I want to dedicate it to my man, Riley Gale from Power Trip. He was, you know, we met him as a fan and he turned out to be a friend. And then you saw how big they've gotten. And what happened on Tuesday is, you know, shocking as something I've ever felt before. So I just want to dedicate this. Got my Dallas Cowboys jerseys on, and Riley's trademark was his hat. So this is for Riley. Gonna do the show right on. And for the boys in Power Trip, Alsh, Nick, Blake, Chris, it's for you guys, man. We love you.
Cool, man. You're a good man. And here's a shot of you and him. And who's the gal in between you?
So that is the, you know, I don't know if Stephen Messina, I know he's the hardcore shutterbug, but a long line of great photographers that capture hardcore like essence. That's Angela Owens, who's kind of been doing it for the current day scene. And she's spectacular. She also daylights as a Wall Street Journal photographer. And, you know, this was at a show in Brooklyn in 2018, and we were just after the show, we're just kicking it backstage, and we're like, I think she was looking for Red Bulls, and Riley was looking. We're talking about comic books, and you know, he's wearing our Outburst tee.
I see that, man. I see that.
Yeah, it was just a great loss. It's gonna be missed. You know, he and the guys love New York hardcore so much. I think I saw somebody post that in the comments that they love New York hardcore. You know, we first met him. He was wearing a Agnostic Front bowling shirt. And they would cover Breakdown, you know, Bad Brains, Sick of It All, Leeway, and Outburst. They actually got on our
cool.
Yeah, they got us on Sirius Radio with their cover of our song When Things Go Wrong. But you know, I'm sure we'll touch on that later in the show. But yeah, this is going out to Riley and the boys in Power Trip.
Fantastic, man. And I know we could get into it. We could get into a little bit later, but I know you're a big sports fan.
Yes, sir.
And you know, and a St. John's alumni. So we'll talk a little bit. We'll talk a little bit of sports later on.
Anything you want? Oh yeah, sure. I can tell you about the time Chris Mullen actually almost ran me over with his car on campus.
Chris Mullen, St. John's alumni.
Correct, and NBA Hall of Famer.
Right. Chris Mullen's in the NBA's Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah. He was on the Dream Team with Jordan and those guys.
Oh yeah, right. But he, you know, it's. I know we don't want to veer this off into sports because people could be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I just want to say, like, you know, my association, it's hard for me to, you know, he played for Golden State all those years, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's Brooklyn through and through, though. If you ever hear him talk.
Didn't he coach St. John's for a minute?
He did for 4 years, got us back to the NCAA tournament, and then he stepped away. I think he did it as a favor to Luke Carnesecca, you know?
Right. who's all right. So
living legend.
So let's do this, man. I want you. You're gonna hang with. Hey, Sid, are you with us? All right, let's bring Sid on. Hey, Sid, what's up?
What's up, Drew? What's going on?
Sid the Kid.
What's up, Joe?
What do you say, Sid?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know how it goes.
Don't try to be funny here, bro. Get
out of here.
Let's do record of the week. I know you're excited about this.
Yeah.
Totally. And we'll all sort of like check it out. And here we go. This is Sid the Kid, record of the week. What's up with this, buddy?
Oh. Yeah, I had to throw this one on the left field for all you guys and gals out there. So unless you were on the internet and may have heard a murmur here and there, obviously a bunch of bands are doing the quarantine thing. They're doing, like little get-togethers, compilations, whatever you want to call it. So out of nowhere, Richie Cipriano, former bass player from Sick of It All, hits me up and throws this at me. And I'm like, oh, what's this? He's like, oh, it's a little project I'm working on. And holy fucking shitballs, this one threw me out of left field. Now, of course, Drew has said before, and obviously, we're not really like on the political tip on this show. So just a heads up, this EP is 100% political. But when you think about it, the roots of hardcore and punk rock is, definitely had a humongous political edge. And this EP definitely rings out. They even do a twist on an Exploited song called Fuck the NRA, which, it's a tongue-in-cheek kind of a thing. But definitely it's straight up hardcore. It's straight up hardcore 100%. And I'm actually going to be premiering one of their songs today on my radio show later on this afternoon. From what I believe, talking to Richie, they're actually going to premiere the whole EP on SoundCloud, I believe, on this week on Wednesday, September 2nd. So if you guys want to check it out, go over on SoundCloud and check out the EP for yourselves and give it a listen.
I also have to shout out a friend of mine who's in this band as well. That's Mr. Dave Basin. Yeah. And, yep. He's in this. I gave this whole thing a listen. It's heavy. It's hard. It's noisy. You know?
It's something, you hear hardcore. Yeah, you hear hardcore, but there's always once in a blue moon, you'll hear that one band or one song or even an EP that's going to get your attention. And I believe this.
And they're up on Bandcamp, right? Of course they are, right?
Not too sure, because if I'm not mistaken, Richie sent me this through SoundCloud. But I would think.
Oh yeah, right. That's how I got it. Too. Okay. Well, listen, Dave or Richie, and you guys, if there is a Bandcamp, just post it in the chat room, and I'll put it up for everybody to see. But I talked to these guys, and we're gonna have them stop by the show at some point soon.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, if you guys missed this and you didn't get a chance to listen to any of this, I'm going to be premiering one of the single off the EP later on today on my radio show. And there it is. Boom, boom. Bam, bam.
Has Richie been in any other bands since he?
Actually, he was in a band called Reach, and they actually did two of their songs were on the New York's Hardest Volume 2 compilation that came out.
What was the name of that
band? Reach.
Reach. Actually, and that was Richie Sip?
Yeah, Richie was in that band for a minute too, actually.
Okay, people, it's the Sid the Kid Sound System show. Get down, listen to Sid's. Sid plays a lot of stuff. Most of it I can't stand. It's shitty punk rock music, but there's a lot of good shit in there too.
Hey, if it wasn't for that shitty punk rock, we wouldn't have good punk rock.
I know, bro. I just bust your balls, bro. You know that. Sid, you're a music lover and you work really hard at this stuff. So, we love you for that. Paul Rowland, who's in the band as well, is War Orphan available for download? Hey, Dave, what's the story? Dave Basin, what's the story? Is the music out there yet? Or are we just fucking hyping your band and the fucking music's not available? Let us know.
I'm hyping. Right? If you guys can wait a couple of days, you could totally, obviously, get it on SoundCloud. So if you can wait those 3 days, which ain't gonna kill you, trust me, when you give it a listen, you want to get the whole record itself. No ands, ifs, or buts.
Right on. All right, Sid. Thank you, buddy, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Sure, Sid.
Thank you.
718 represent. But do you remember when it used to be just one area code for New York City, just 212, and that was it, right?
How about Murray Hill 88888?
Yeah. Honeymooners, Bensonhurst 555.
Bensonhurst 5.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad. I was going to ask my dad what the old area code in the Bronx was.
That's right.
You know, that's funny. Hey, so let's talk a little bit about you coming up. How did you get into music? How did music come into your orbit?
Music, just any music, or are you going to graduate to like the punk hardcore stuff? Because
how did music first come? Did you grow up in a musical household? How did you get into music?
So, I still tell people to this day, I was just raised on radio. You ever been in a house where the radio was always on? And then I had parents who put on, like, if they liked what was popular at the time or stuff from their youth, and exposed it to me just in the car, or, as they're doing housework and they have it on. And, even early, like my mother got the 45 for American Pie by Don McLean. And she was really into that song, and she played it over and over again. And so through osmosis, I guess, I can still recite like 90% of those lyrics today if you threw it on. Like, it's just, a lot of osmosis. So my favorites that once I learned how to get into my own kind of music, like what was available on the radio, and I'd ask my parents to take me to the record stores. Back then it was like the Wiz and like a lot of indie record stores on Steinway Street.
Well, growing up, we both grew up, I was born in Queens. We both grew up in New York City. Back then you had Sam Goody and you had the Wiz.
Yep.
What's some of the other ones? I mean, even like Radio Shack had records, and shit like that.
Or Macy's, Macy's and Alexander. You could get
what was one? Corvettes.
Corvette, on 34th Street. So I would constantly ask my mom to take me to those stores, and you get to the bins and you're just like going through them alphabetically, or what looks cool, and the album covers that your friends in school are talking about. So my early influences were like Kiss. Everyone says Kiss, but it's true. They were.
Let's not get going on Kiss again on this show.
I know everyone says it, but in New York and even in the mainstream, they were pretty undeniably influential just by the images and stuff, But there was also cool stuff like the Beatles. My mom and dad liked the Beatles. Late 70s, they call it yacht rock today.
What's it called?
Yacht rock, which is 70s and 80s, like soft rock.
Is that right? Like, yeah, right. Like,
and if and when you get Walter Streifels on your show, which I think you're going to plan, he can do a segment on yacht rock, because we have like a thing going on where we like exchange yacht rock. So I'm going to throw some names at you because I know but Air Supply, Ambrosia, 10cc, bands like that.
Oh, that's like real soft. That's like that's
really like almost limp, but it's cool.
Or America.
Yes.
Or who's a Gordon Lightfoot?
Oh my! The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
I love Gordon Lightfoot personally.
It's a good tune.
Here we go. Kiss. Next up, Devo. Hey, fuck you guys. Hey, fucking Devo. Here you go. Seals and Crofts.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. That's crucial yacht rock. Sirius XM.
Peaches and Herb.
Yes. These are all valid.
Chris Cross. Is it Christopher Cross?
Christopher Cross. Yeah.
Yeah. Christopher Cross has an interesting story. He was like not a roadie, but like a runner. He worked for Fleetwood Mac. That guy, was around the music business for a long time and worked real hard, before he broke through, Yeah.
And I also heard he beat coronavirus recently. So
is that right? Christopher Cross?
Yeah.
Cool.
He came down with it early in the going, like in
Sailing.
Yeah.
Take me away to where I'm going. Anything but Billy Joel. God, I fucking hate Billy
Joel. Really?
I hate Billy Joel, bro.
Oh, man. He's my guy.
Oh, God. I hate Billy Joel, man.
Eric,
man. Light Video Spectra Studio, yo, Drew. Hey, yo, what's up? Thanks for take me away to where I'm. Well, how about Journey, man? Does Journey,
Well, weren't they kind of like progressive, kind of like before they got Steve Perry?
Yeah.
And they started to get commercially successful. But
all right, we're going off on a tangent.
Sorry.
Let's pull it back in, and let's talk about how did you start? You grew up in Astoria, Queens, right?
Yes, sir.
And you before we get and you went to St. John's Prep, right? Mm-hmm. And let me see, you went to St. John's Prep with future guys from Outburst, right? These are guys from Outburst.
Yeah, those are all guys in my year. So the other two guys, George and Adolfo, weren't in the band. They weren't even into hardcore. But Jay on the left, George and I, and then our original bass player and singer, Chris Bruno and Brian, which I think I've got a picture there of them in the homeroom together. We all discovered each other like sophomore, junior year. Like, hey, there's some older guys here who wear like safety pins and patches on the jacket. Oh, I was like, that's my friend from the block, AJ Novello, who went on to found Leeway.
You sent me a high school pic of Mr. AJ Novello from Leeway right there.
Very real picture. I don't know anyone who's seen these
right
out on the internet. So
yeah,
he was our classmate. He also lived on our block. So
and also Anthony Caminal, right?
Yes, sir. Another one of St. John's Prep's finest.
Right. That's great. Oh, is that right? Outburst had 2 Manila men.
Yes, because Jay Rufino, our other original guitarist, was also Filipino. So that's a good call, Chris Bunkley.
So go on. So St. John. Let me see what you sent me. A couple others. Let me see what else you sent me because people are loving these. Here's another one of AJ Novello, looking like Bruce Springsteen or something. You know.
Yeah, he always wore. So no one really remembers because by the time Leeway got big, he already cut his hair and was wearing baseball caps.
Right.
But in high school with us, when we walked to school together, he had his long curly Italian locks.
Right.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Let me see. You sent me a couple of these. These are great.
Yeah, there's another one of Caminale in the cafeteria too.
This is what I like about the Caminale one is that, you know, then there's this, and you know, this is really cool.
Yes, high school.
And I know where this is. Why don't you tell everyone where this is?
This was a cool show. So this was outside of Niagara, formerly A7. And I'm going to backtrack to the beginning of St. John's Prep. We started with that in high school and in Astoria. There were all these bands that were just getting started when we were in high school. So the Unruled became Leeway. You had Kraut in the neighborhood, New York Hoods, Murphy's Law, Reagan Youth, a lot of bands in Astoria that were just in our, up and down the block. I think like Mike DeJean even said a couple of weeks ago when he was on your show, these guys are like in our like walking distance range and you can go up and talk to them. And one of the bands that I didn't mention till now is because Token Entry kind of formed from Gilligan's Revenge. That was the original Token Entry. And Anthony Caminale was a St. John's Prep classmate of ours. So this is right? Cool. Yeah, he went to St. John's Prep.
So you guys are the same age?
No, AJ and Anthony were
2 years older than you guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool. And this is outside our beloved A7. And correct me if I'm wrong, is that when you guys played this show?
No, that was when you got Gilligan's Revenge to.
Oh yeah, the big. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then we played later that October, so you got us to do that. That was great. The A7 is just a great room, man. That was just a lot of fun.
And listen, some people look back very fondly on those shows, and especially the show that Outburst played. You guys crushed it.
I couldn't believe how many people were in that one room. Like the square footage is like not very much. And
yeah.
Looking out at that, I was like, oh my God, this is like sick,
Yeah, it was awesome. So you grew up in Astoria, Queens, which was a real hotbed of New York hardcore activity. Maybe someday I'll do a documentary about, what the fuck's in the water. But explain what this is in Astoria, Queens.
Yes. Okay. So this is around the corner from on Ditmars Boulevard and 20th Avenue. This is called the Pyramids. So if you have any Kraut fans out there, they have a song on their second album called Pyramids, and it's a skate park, but it wasn't built to be a skate park. It's just the entrance to the Con Edison Park, Con Edison plant that rests on 20th Avenue. And as it happened, all the Astoria punks and hardcore kids would just go down there and skate. Geographically, this was up the block from, I think I sent you a picture of a pizzeria.
Yeah.
So this is a block away, a block or two away from Pizza Palace, which was also like 3 or 4 blocks from St. John's Prep. And on the corner at Pizza Palace, you would get all the Astoria guys, like guys from New York hoods. You know, when Gorilla Biscuits was first starting, you'd get like Civ and Walter and Arthur and those guys, because they were kind of Astoria, Jackson Heights. And all the girls that were, you know, from the neighborhood would also go hang out at Pizza Palace, go kick walk a couple of blocks and skateboard. And that was really like a day in the life sometimes of Astoria punks, you know?
Yeah, you know, I don't think I've ever seen this. Is it still there?
It is. Yeah, it's still there. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't hang out with you guys. I was running with a different pack, but I got to get Astoria Lou to bring me over there, man. I gotta check this out, man.
I see Todd Hamilton in the comments said the pyramid, so I guess he knew right when he saw it. That's
Todd knew. Well, Todd, you know.
Yeah, check out the crowd song. It's a really good song on What in the South. I think it's on Spotify.
You know, and it's funny because like back then, you know, in New York City, you sort of get a couple beers and get a couple nickel bags, and you'd hang out at a place like this, and you know, roll up a couple joints and have a couple beers and hang out with your friends and make a mess, and like it wasn't a big deal. Nowadays, I don't know if a group of people like, you know, had a party there, it would probably get flagged pretty fast, you know?
Well, every neighborhood has one, right? I'm sure like Sick of It All had the Alleyway Crew, right? And the Lower East Side guys. And, you know, so Astoria had kind of had her own flavor with like St. John's Prep and Jackson Heights. They would hang out like Astoria in that area. So that was kind of awesome.
Now, St. John's Prep, you've mentioned a couple times, and you know, was there beef with Aviation?
Yes. Did Freddie Albert tell you this? Because there was constant like fights on that. So Aviation was in like Long Island City.
It was it was like on the other side of Queens Boulevard, right?
Yes. So you
no, is that Queens or North? Yeah, Queens Boulevard. Yeah,
Queens Boulevard. So you would have to switch at the Queensboro Plaza train station. You can connect to the 7, and you can connect to the N train. Back in the days, it was the double R. But so students that were coming in from other places would have to change for the N train to go to St. John's Prep, and of course, students that were trying to get to Aviation would also get off on that platform to get to the 7 train to get to Aviation. So there were a lot of fights on that platform.
Platform of beef.
But back then, I think it was just handled with like fists and stuff. Nobody was like, you know, they were just high school kids, right? So
in high school, everybody had that shit going on, you know?
Yeah.
Aviation off the 7 line. Aviation, is where that whole other bunch of guys, you know, went to school. Did so? How did you end up a drummer? Like, why drums?
Because I couldn't cut it as a piano player. Anybody who's familiar with Filipino parents knows that you have to kind of play some instrument. It's just how the Filipino work culturally. So I had a piano in my house because my mother played, and so it was already in our house. So I want to say forced to take lessons, but I was coerced to take lessons, and I couldn't read sheet music very well. You know, I wasn't having a lot of fun with it, and then like everybody on my block played either guitar or drums. And so here I was the only kid playing piano and taking piano lessons while everyone's like jamming in their basements. So I kind of asked my folks if they would like front me money to pick up a drum set, like a 5-piece Tama. And the only other drummers on our block were Sasso, from original drummer for Leeway, and our friend Foti. And everybody else played guitar and bass, like AJ and Mike DeJean, Nick Benatos from Cold Front. They were all in our like 2-block radius, and they all played guitar and drums. So once guitar and bass, sorry. So once I got a drum kit, I was able to like hook up with George and jam in my garage. And that all was, you know, thanks to my parents for doing that, because I really wasn't having a lot of fun with piano lessons, you know.
Well, that's awesome that you know that's so important that you had a place to play, man.
Yeah,
yeah. You know, I was talking to my dad the other night, and as a kid, I must have been 10 years old. I wanted a drum set, and my parents wouldn't let me have a drum set because it was too noisy. There was no place to play,
Well, that was an argument against it. So
Yeah.
I made promises. I was like, I won't play till like after 9 o'clock. I'll stop. And I'll play. So this is the truth. To kind of get chops, other than watching like Sasso and Foti, and also like Johnny feedback from crowd, right?
There's an unheralded amazing drummer.
Yeah, we would go.
This sort of segues into George's question: who was your favorite drummer growing up? So I guess it sort of segues into like growing up in Astoria. What drummers influenced you?
Yeah, so Foti, our friend Foti, he was also St. John's Prep classmate, played a lot more metal, Queensryche, Maiden, stuff like that, which we were all into. But as far as like seeing like stuff that I could probably pick up that didn't look a lot of energy, right? It was Sasso. Those early Leeway jams in his basement, when they're playing stuff like Be Loud and all you Leeway fans who know the Enforcer demo, got to watch him at work. I got to watch, the early shows with Johnny Cons with the crowd. I would just sit there with my mouth open, like, holy crap, these guys are amazing, Johnny Cons does not get enough love. Sorry, I keep saying Johnny Cons. Feedback, right, is his name? Johnny Feedback. Amazing.
Boom.
Shout out to Davey Gunner.
There you go.
From End of Hope for doing crowd. They were kind of like heroes to us, But yeah. There's the Leeway demo.
That's the infamous Leeway demo that's the first thing that they put out, right?
Yeah. And if anybody, you can find that on YouTube, and Sasso is the drummer on that.
Right.
And if you just hear the stuff that he's doing, it's a lot different from Born to Expire, like what turned into Born to Expire.
He plays on Born to Expire?
No, but all these songs made it onto Born to Expire, and they evolved over time. And
who plays drums on Born to Expire?
It's Tony Fontau.
Right.
Brazil, they got, he was like a studio guy, but he was awesome.
Right. And then Pokey joined for the record after that.
Yes, Pokey Mo. Shout out to Pokey.
Right. Yep. Cool.
But if you hear like the songs on that Enforcer demo, they're controlled chaos. Like it sounds like pots and pans falling down the stairs, and then he'd land on the one and hit the cymbal, the crash.
Right.
It was amazing to me. So
pots and pans falling down the stairs.
But then he'd land on the one. So it was like insane.
Yeah. That's cool, man. So was Outburst your first band? Was there any? Did you kind of was that your first excursion into playing music? Was with some of your boys? Let's form Outburst.
No, actually, there was a garage band. Maybe in 85, 86, when our friend Forty, who I mentioned before, had a band. They were trying to do like metal, so they started out with covers. And one of the covers, they needed keyboards on it. This is before I was playing drums. 2 songs they asked me to play on was "Rainbow in the Dark" by Dio.
What? Wait a second. Why did this come up? Is this what George? Why this guy? Is there? Do you know this guy?
George DeRico?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Outburst OG, man. He's my guitar player, man.
George. Okay.
What's up, George? He told me he'd come and be
Sorry,
here.
George. I'm sorry.
That's true, though, because he's right.
Like a rainbow in the dark.
We were such a big metal block. So they played that and Michael Schenker group On and On, which had keyboard parts. So they asked me to figure those parts out so I could jam with them. So that was the first time I played with like 4 other guys, musically. But Outburst, yes, was me and George and our guys from high school in my garage. That was the second attempt. Sorry.
Got it. And let me see. You sent me a couple early photos. When did you? I mean, let's see. This is 88. This is an 88 flyer. This must have been early on in the game, right?
Probably like spring of 88. Oh no, fall of 88. So we're about a year into it.
It's November 88.
Yeah, so because our first show was November 87. And I think I gave you the flyer for that one too. That's the blue one. So we've been at it for about
Oh wait, I got whoa. Boom.
There you go. Yeah, that's the very first show. What a lineup, too, right?
It's a right track in.
Report. Report Long Island.
Yeah, look at that bill, huh?
And I remember being nervous because Ernie Parada was in the crowd. That was our very first show. and we ended the set with All Twisted by Kraut. That was like our tribute to them.
Yeah.
And there's that long roll at the very end before the last verse where Johnny's just doing a roll. Yeah. And so I just got nervous because I knew Ernie was another one of the Astoria drummers who was in that crowd. And I was like kind of nervous because I'm like almost like stage fright. Like I don't want to mess up in front of Ernie Parada, you know. But I didn't, and that was the rest was history, I guess.
And that was the first show I got, and you guys look so young, man. You guys are such a young looking band, man. What's this? What's this one, buddy?
Yes, that is footage of that show you just showed the flyer for.
The first show?
That is the footage. That's a photo of the flyer you just showed at the Right Track Inn. So there's the Right Track. There's George with a Hannock Summer Camp shirt. I've got a Def Jam shirt with a kicker hat. There's our original bassist, Chris Bruno. That photo is by BJ Pappas. Shout out to BJ.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And George says, whatever happened to Chris Bruno?
Chris Bruno was our original bass player. I want to say like in the summer of '88, there's a story behind this, but he was sort of like kind of picking up on George and Jay's guitar parts. So he wasn't like adding a lot, but he was serviceable. But then like you want me to go down this rabbit hole of the story about
no.
I could.
I mean, just what happened to him? He moved out of town. We got a lot.
We asked him to leave the band in summer of '88. So that led to Mike Wells, our bassist, joining the band. So the long story short.
Good. I don't. We want to keep it moving and grooving.
Yes,
and here's another one. I think this is another real early one, right?
Yeah, that's '89 in the Barbecued Iguana Club, and you can see the Barbecued Iguana Club. It's a smaller club from the Safari in the 930 in Washington D.C.
Oh,
I think we played with Gut Instinct, and you can see the bass player is Mike Wells at this point.
Right. That's cool. Stick with me a second, will you? I got to shout out some sponsors, and we'll get into some more. Okay. What's happening, boys and girls of all ages? It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by The Organic Grill, New York Hardcore Comics, Chain Reaction, and the Texas Silver Rush. Where is my Texas Silver Rush paperwork? Oh, here it is. The Texas Silver Rush is a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to create and design unique one-off pieces, as well as to style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rollet of Journey, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. During this current pandemic, all information and online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram pages, and of course, www.texassilverrush.com. Also, our good friends, fucking super supporters, New York Hardcore Comics. They opened back in 2013 when lifelong friends Debo DePro and Lee Fairley combined their collections and obsessions of comic books, punk rock, toys, statues, Magic the Gathering, and all things horror. The store is located at 117 Main Street in lovely Dobbs Ferry, New York. If you want to support them during this pandemic, please contact them via email at newyorkhardcorecomics@gmail.com or any social media channel. We love them. They love us. What else is going on? The Barbecued Iguana. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah. Oh, you like my hat? Yeah. Listen. I mean, I don't usually wear baseball caps and stuff, but our sponsor sent it to me, and it's kind of cool. Yeah, BJ Pappas would be good. I'll reach out to BJ. We'll get that done. That said, well, you know what? That said, let me shout out one quick thing. I want to shout out a couple of patrons. A Patreon page. I just saw since the show started that 2 patrons joined the party, and I want to shout them out: Andrew Shaw and my friend Dave Basin. I also want to shout out other new patrons that support this show. You should support this show. Joe Nasso, John Harmon, James Papp, Rick Brunst, Joel Hamlin, AJ Morocco, John Cusera, AK Johnny Rock, Andre Harvey, Jay Fury from Fury of 5. Hey, fucking Jay Fury supporting this show, shouldn't you? Emery G, Cindy Villano, our old friend, Chico, Anthony Green, and Thorsten. So, yo, that's the Patreon page. I'm posting all kinds of never-before-seen footage on there. You're not going to see it anywhere else. I'm not posting on the internet because it gets passed around like a you-know-what. Dare I say it. I know, Johanna, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. That's right. Celtic Frost did a version of Mexican radio. That's right. They aren't new anymore. I know. I'm just shouting them out. Relax. It's Shout Out Sunday. What else do I got? Oh, I want to mention, if drama's your game, where is... Oh, we mentioned this, Bowery Electric. We got the big show coming up at the Bowery Electric. If it's drama you want, go on to theBoweryElectric.com. Support this show. We're doing it for the venues of New York City. It is a benefit. Stigma, Antidote, New York Hardcore, and The Craze. In addition to that, we have a special bonus show coming up. We have Vinny Stigma coming on. Vinny Stigma, Mike Gallo, and Larry Naroda from Stigma. Tristan DeGraves and Matt Gray from the infamous Antidote NYHC, and a couple of guys from The Craze are coming on this show on Friday, September 4th. That's this Friday, by the way. This Friday. This is going down. Look, anytime Stigma's on the show, it's a lot of fun. So make sure you come by. Shout out to Richie Crackdown. All right, Alan R. It is Shout Out Sunday. Yeah, Chico. Hey, thank you for your support, Chico. I appreciate it, man. This is going to be a fun show. So, and John Harmon, thank you, brother. It means the world to me, man. You know, people are supporting this show and people are supporting me as an artist, and it enables me to spend hours putting these shows together, which I do. And I appreciate it. You know, Alan R. shouting out his fellow vegans, all you vegan motherfuckers. All right. Tristan DeGraves is coming on the show. We love Tristan. Mike DeJean, what's up? You're missing a great beach day. You're missing a great beach day, Gadoosh. Hey, I got a show to do. I'm in Florida. I'm coming home tomorrow. Me and Lou, we're going to the beach Tuesday, and we're going with Mark on Thursday. We'll see you out in Rockaway Beach, bro. Can you give my family a shout out? Sure. Who's your family? Post it up. Post it up. We're shouting out Rockaway Beach. Richie Sip, what's up? Thank you so much for this support. Of course. Hey, you hear that, Sid? You hear that, Sid?
Yeah, I saw Richie. All
right, Richie. Yeah, Richie's here. You know, that's
Richie,
cool.
You changed. I
got to get Crackdown on. We'll get some Crackdown guys on. All right, there you go, Sid. All right, let me get all this crap off. Let's bring our guests back on. Let's get back at it. You think anything else? Mark, are you at the beach with my boys? You motherfucker. Send me a picture, Mikey. I'll post it up. All my guys are at the beach in Rockaway Beach but me. Wow. What do we got here? Andrew Vandenberg supporting from Curacao, Dutch Caribbean. Wow. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. That means a lot. All the way from the Dutch Caribbean. That is awesome. You know, what a great community we have. What a great show. Just people from all over the world just, you know, kind of meet here. I hope I can keep you entertained. It's fucked up, DeJean. It's fucked up. You're hurting. Why do you hurt me so, DeJean? You know? Anyway, let's bring JoJo back on. Hey, buddy.
Hey, can I get two? I was reading the comments as you were talking.
Yeah,
Two
sure.
things. Sid the Kid, did you just pull a Benny Hill reference?
No, I don't know if I should say it like publicly. There's a certain home video that Sick of It All did back in the day.
Oh boy.
Richie's the whole band's a part of it. Just them like doing stupid, crazy hijinks shit.
Okay.
It's definitely not YouTube friendly. Not
all right, Sid. Don't fucking blow. Don't blow up anybody's spot, Sid. That's fucked up.
They're not blowing up those spots. It's just hilarious if you have a copy. That's all.
No, but the part about You've Changed, Have I? That I think is a Benny Hill show reference.
Benny Hill?
Trust me, Richie coined it way too much in that video, so it just stuck.
I think Richie. If Richie can confirm that's a Benny Hill reference, because I think I remember that from watching that show back in the day.
All right.
I saw something. Shout out Mike's Diner on 31st.
Oh, okay, that's legitimate. Go ahead.
Somebody shout out Mike's Diner. I got a funny story really quickly. After like at Roxy Studios in Long Island City, a bunch of the bands used to play, rehearse there, and then we'd all like find something to do, like hang out afterwards, get something to eat. And so Mike's Diner, I'm sitting there with like maybe George and Brian, and across from us, with us is like Jay Crackdown and Anthony Caminali. And before our food comes, they're trying to fart on each other in the booth, the dining booth. That's a true story. And I'm sitting there like, what is happening here? Because the other diners who don't know who we are looking at these two guys trying to fart on each other, like get over, like put their ass cheeks on each other. This is happening at Mike's Diner. So the only people who saw that, who would remember it, is me, George, Brian, Jay Crackdown, what's up, Jason, and Caminali. Because I remember that happening. I never forgot it.
Scarred for life.
Yeah, that's my Mike's Diner story. So there.
Okay. Hey, Sid, we'll see you in a bit. Back to the reason why we're doing the show, music.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this a little bit. Let's talk about this a little bit. Give us the background on this, because this is really, it's pretty safe to say that this is an iconic record at this point.
It's funny that iconic is the word you use when something gets clowned over and over again. Is it really like iconic, But yes, that's where we are. It was, more a tribute to Bill Wilson from Blackout Records, shout out Bill, and BJ Pappas, who did the photo shoot. It's more a tribute to their like creative ideas that this turned into than anything we did. We just sat there, like, I guess what people like, and I think Mike DeJean was mentioning this a couple of weeks ago, is that we don't really look like anybody else, right? We just, like, if you look at the outfits on us, man, like Brian looks like he's Kurt Cobain, with the sunglasses, John Lennon glasses. Jay's wearing like, track gear. I've got a Def Jam shirt with a part in my hair. George is wearing like a dress shirt with, jeans and dress shoes. And, Mike probably looks the most hardcore kiddish out of all of us with his backwards hat and like, army pants. But there was really no set like look, so to speak. And I think that's why, as you go on through the years, people kind of like homaged it or aped it for their, like a lot of bands did it for their trip cover of their demo or tape. And you see there they go. I mean, look at the.
Let me see. So these are 4 different bands that did this?
And there's more. I've seen more too. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
It's the lettering type and the font and like the graffiti.
That is, listen, man, that is that is, I don't even know. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's also a shout out to JR for his logo, his graffiti.
Yeah.
He was the band Bomber. So people, I guess, dug the graffiti and Soul Search in the upper left-hand corner, they went on to become Fury.
Is that right?
Yeah, from LA, and they're pretty big on the West Coast. And Numb is from Tokyo. I think No Days Off is from either Indonesia or Singapore, and Sidekick might be from Australia, I think. But that's pretty nuts, right?
Hey, it's flattering, man. It's I didn't perceive it as an insult in any way. I feel like when I saw this stuff, because I've seen this through the years, they're really paying homage to you guys. They're really saying that, like, that we love this band and we were influenced by them. So
Mike DeJean says if Menudo was a hardcore band, I can't disagree with that.
That's great. And of course, you know, we got to touch on, now we're going to go back to the record thing, but I want to touch on the fact that back then, you know, graffiti was a big part of New York hardcore. Why don't you talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah. You know, New York City, and then riding the subways, and like, you know, on the expressways, you would see people bomb on the highways. You know, you had a segment in your New York Hardcore Chronicles part 1 all about graffiti and its connection to hardcore. And you showed all the guys like MQ and you know, all the guys who would bomb. I don't even think, like, was it Hoya who was saying like they would just bomb Jackson Heights and then go play hardcore. Like, it was just a lifestyle. Exact, right? They were talking about all the influence that graffiti had on hardcore, and then eventually hardcore had on graffiti. Like, they kind of go hand in hand. But yeah, this mural, I'm not sure where this is taken. I think it's somewhere in Europe or Canada, and I still don't know who that is.
That's crazy.
They bombed the whole wall, like a handball wall or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a
New York, definitely a New York hardcore thing, like a New York City thing, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So give us a little, where was this recorded?
Let's see. Yeah, so we did our demo at Don Fury. And then we did 2 tracks for the Newbury comp, also at Don Fury. But then when Bill Wilson, you know, signed us to Blackout, he wanted to get like a different sound. So he had just sent Rest in Pieces to Legend Studios in Setauket, New York. And, you know, that's out in Suffolk. He liked the sound. If you listen to My Rage, it's a much different sound from like all the Don Fury records. So Bill wanted to send us to Setauket for to record Mouse Ago at Legend also. So that was recorded in Legend Studios. The producer,
Legends Studios,
just Legend. Like
Legend. Where's that?
Yeah, Legend. It's Setauket, New York. East Setauket.
Setauket?
Yeah.
I do not know it.
I'm sure fellow Long Islanders would know. It's like out east, maybe.
It's Long Island.
Yeah, maybe Stephen would know. Yeah.
Okay, got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So a little bit about you guys were on the Newbury compilation.
Yes, Freddie Alva's Newbury compilation.
Talk about that a little bit. Those tracks are standout.
Yeah, so we did two compilations right around the time Revelation did the 7-inch, and I think they did the 12-inch the way it is. And then on the heels of that, Freddie Alva, shout out to Freddie, from Jackson Heights, put together. He wanted to put together a compilation of all the newer bands that were around that time, just in their demo stages, like trying to get out there. So he asked us to be on there. There's some really good bands on there, you know, Beyond and Bad Trip, and you know, Mike DeJean's first band, Show of Force, is on there with a track. Abomination, you know, it's a really solid roster. Collapse. I could go on, but you know, you could find it on Spotify, I think. And so we did those 2 tracks of Don Fury. Then Bill Wilson followed up with that with his own compilation, Where the Wild Things Are. That was on Blackout. That was the first Blackout release, so to speak.
Right.
And he had Gorilla Biscuits on there, Sheer Terror, Maximum Penalty, Raw Deal before they were Killing Time, and that one. So that we let off that compilation with The Hard Way and Controlled. So that was where we kind of, before the 7-inch that you showed, that was our first release with Blackout.
And tell us who's in this picture real quick. This is around that era.
Yeah, this is right. This is 89, probably, when everyone talks about the year 89. This is at CBGB. In between, someone's either breaking down or setting up. And there's Civ, left to right, Civ. And then there's Dylan. That's Walter Schreiffel's brother. He's a tattoo artist extraordinaire nowadays, but he's a good friend of mine. And then there's Luke Abbey, Lukey Luke, from Gorilla Biscuits also, Warzone, right? And then me, wearing my Crackdown sticker on my orange trucker hat. So such fashionable kids back then.
Yeah, there you go. And you know something else, and this is something that you and I have talked about quite a bit. I know that you're a big lover of early hip hop, and you know, we've talked about, you know, a lot of the videos I worked on. You know, I did. You know, I worked on, you know, Big Daddy Kane and Salt and Pepper, and of course I was the second AD on all that on those two Eric B and Rakim videos.
Amazing. That's amazing.
I did and the Onyx shit and all that. But
yeah,
you're a lover of early hip hop, right?
Yeah, I mean, like again, with your graffiti connection and the hip hop connection, because like New York City was like a melting pot, and for anybody who was in the 5 boroughs or even Long Island and Westchester, you had like WNYU had like Crucial Chaos down the dial. Then you can go up the dial and get like Mr. Magic and Red Alert shows at the other end of the dial. And then all the kids in school would be like, oh, did you buy the Cro-Mags Age of Quarrel? Oh, did you also buy Beastie Boys License to Ill? Hey, did you know that the Slayer guitarist plays on No Sleep Till Brooklyn? Did you know that Rick Rubin from Def Jam produced Rain and Blood by Slayer? There was all this like cross-pollination of musical styles. And, KRS-One did the intro to Blood, Sweat, and No Tears. That's amazing. You had the Judgment Night soundtrack. So hip hop, it started out as a New York thing, but like you said, Eric B and Rakim, Boogie Down Productions, Queensbridge versus the Bronx, things like that. Run DMC, of course, Beastie Boys. And, Beastie Boys were a hardcore band, NYHC band too. So there's a lot of that like family, let's cross some streams here, see what we can come up with,
Absolutely. By popular demand, I have to put up the shot of me and Eric B and Rakim from back in the day. There you go.
That's amazing. I didn't know he was a Niners fan.
Well, listen, I think back then, I love that I love Eric B representing Milwaukee.
Milwaukee Brewers, yeah. That's awesome.
Because back then Milwaukee was awful. You know what I mean? He's just straight up representing the hood. But that's from back in the day, man. That's I second AD the Eric B and Rakim Follow the Leader and Microphone Fiend videos, man.
Those are classics, both of them.
Yeah, for sure. And I saw Eric B recently also, and talked to him about that stuff. He's a big fight fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew. I don't know if you know about these verses that have been happening, kind of like what you're doing with the Chronicles Live, like it's like quarantine content, and they get like 2 artists to do their best songs. Like
who's this?
Verses. It's called Verses. Anybody out there? Like they just did Snoop Dogg versus DMX. They did Teddy Riley versus like Babyface. It's an online thing, but for R&B. And I think the rumor was they were trying to get Rakim and Big Daddy Kane to do a Verses. And those are 2 of the best. You know what I mean? So like. And you worked with both of them, so I figured you'd be interested in that. It's just a rumor.
Yeah, for sure. Like Chucky Brown from Crazy Eddie, Rakim. Listen, I've seen a couple rappers in my day. I was going to, high school in the Bronx when the thing hit. I've seen a couple. But for me, from what I've seen, just for me, in my opinion, the 2 that really stick out for me is Rakim and Run.
Reverend Run, yeah.
I saw Run. I worked with him. I did a Run DMC video. To me, those 2 guys, Run and Rakim, they were just they spoke. I love them, man.
I got a Queens tidbit. I think it must have been 1993. I was walking with my friends at the Queens Center Mall on Queens Boulevard.
Yeah.
And, going up the up escalator, coming down was Run with a bunch of shopping bags and his posse. And it was kind of like you make eye contact, but you don't want to go up to the guy and like,
yeah.
So I did one of these head nods, like the New York head nods, like, oh, like I know you. What's up? He head nodded me back, so that was kind of
cool. Yeah.
One interjection.
Here's a question from Blenderhead Brian. Joe, what does Joe think about all these new alternative rappers with the metal hardcore influence?
Well, now, do you know? I think metal and rap and hardcore isn't really new. I know that like the Judgment Night soundtrack and like Sick of It All and Mobb Deep did a cut, right? So it's not exactly new, but I like it. I like that there's still cross-pollination, like, experimenting with anything that may come off sounding fresh. Or did I say fresh? Really good. Oh yeah, I like this. Why be not open or closed-minded to anything that's involving like, experimentation,
Yeah. Well, listen, we're in a genre called New York hardcore, and there's plenty of people that feel like any variation
Yeah.
from that is blasphemy. So
I would like to think that. Well, so then how do they feel about like Leeway, right?
Right.
They have a rap song on one of their albums, like Eddie's rapping, or even
Right.
Six Foot All, who had a rapper to start on their record, things like that. Like the bigger the family, the more boundaries you cross, I think the better.
For sure. We were talking about the band, and I gotta put this flyer up, bro. I love this flyer, man.
Yeah, that's
That is really, man.
like going on there, right?
That's a hell of a fuck. Who did that flyer, man?
That's Chris Pinedos. He is another Astoria Park resident of our block, and he played in Fit of Anger, which is on the New Breed comp, and then he went on to play in Everybody Gets Hurt.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's a kid from the block, and his brother Nick Pinedos founded Cold Front. So we had a lot of guys on our block that were into the hardcore stuff. But yeah, that was done by Chris B.
Beautiful flyer. Incredible. Man.
96, maybe 96.
Is there a date on it? Yeah, there's a date on it. It's 3/17/91.
Oh boy! All right, then I was wrong. I was way off on that.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. What do I know?
Hang with me a second. Let me do a couple shout outs and then we'll come back and take some questions. Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What's happening? It is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, and Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards. I want to remind everybody that coming up on Wednesday, we have Mr. Ed Stasium. Going to be a fun show. I have a little bit of a history with this guy. We're trying to get a couple special guests on. This is going to be a show that's rich in musical folklore and history. Also, just to remind you, a week from today, that would be Sunday, a week from today, is Israel from Bad Brains and Fireburn. We're stoked on that. And also, I just announced, this just went to the presses. We got the guys from Channel 3 on the show. So, check that out. Also, this Friday, we got a special bonus show with Vinny Stigma, Mike Gallo, Larry the Hunter, Tristan DeGraves, Matt Gray, Spencer Cray, and Johnny Cray, talking about the upcoming live streaming event we have for Save Our Stages. Please support this event. Tickets are available at theboweryelectric.com. Support this event. It's important. There you go. What else? What else we got? All right. Good. Have I covered everything else? Oh, yes. If you have one of these communication devices that seems to be ringing off the hook. Oh, hold on. Mike DeJean. All right, hold on. Mike DeJean texted me from Rockaway Beach with Astoria Lou. That's cool. All right. I get it, guys. You're at the beach and you're without me. Follow me on Instagram. On Instagram, follow me. Follow me. Here you go. Follow me on Instagram. Also, if you haven't already, the on Facebook, the New York Hardcore Chronicles page. Also, there's a new Instagram page, Antidote _ New York Hardcore. It's the new Antidote page that we have. We are Antidote NYHC. That's how we've rebranded ourselves. Antidote, we have vacated. Former members can use the Antidote name. We are Antidote NYHC. Matt Binks, I'll be there for the Friday show. Yeah, Vinny Stigma's on the show. Why would you not? Alan R., patron. What does that mean? Yes. Yes, you are. Let's see what else. Insta 8-ball. Not sure what that means. What? Are you drinking again, Brian? Are you just coming on my show posting dumb shit? Is that what you're doing? Come on now. Calm down, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, Larry, we go to the beach all the time. Me, Astoria, Lou, DeJean, and Mark Levine. We go out to Rockaway Beach all the time. Absolutely. That said, I think I've covered everything, and I feel good about it. I feel good that I've covered everything. Hey, Chris Corkum, how you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're well. Nice to see you, Chris Corkum. What else? Did I cover everything? Christine Cambria's artwork. You guys know about that? Some people say, hey, what's up with that artwork back there? That is Christine Cambria's artwork. Her stuff is awesome. On Instagram, she's at ccambria.com. Go check it out. It's mind-blowing. His prices are insane. There you go. Let's clear the deck here. Any questions? It's question time. So let's get some questions in for Joe Songco. Whatever. I know, you got a sports question. We'll even do that as well. I know this ain't a sports show. Oh, here you go. 420. Smoke them if you got them. That said, any questions, send them through. Let me clear the deck here. We'll bring JoJo back on. Everybody be gone, be gone. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, where the fuck is that? Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't forget about, we did already, bro. We already shouted out your fucking band, dude. You weren't even watching the show. You better go back and look at a replay. Love that. War Orphan. That's right. Richie Sipp's new band, Dave Basin. They're going to be on the show pretty soon. We're going to bring them on. Okay. May H. All right, JoJo, here we go. All right, JoJo, welcome back.
Hey.
May, our fabulous friend and super supporter, May in London, says, can you ask JoJo how he came up with the lyrics to The Hard Way? It's my jam.
First, before I answer that for May, she refused to say that in an American accent because I was at the backstage of Sound of Revolution in November of last year. And she said it was her favorite, one of her favorite songs. I'm like, well, in the States, you have to say that's my jam, a little fast. And she refused to try an American accent for me. So that on top of like putting in the comment box about the Eagles, she's a big Philadelphia Eagles fan. On a day when I'm honoring Power Trip with the Cowboy stuff, come on, May, should I even answer your question? Should I? I will, though. May's a sweetheart. Yeah, so I wrote the lyrics for most of the songs. Actually, Brian wrote our first 3 songs, and then he was like, your lyrics, give it a try, and your stuff is like, a lot more easier to sing or come up with. So I wrote The Hard Way. It's at St. John's University. I think maybe my junior year or sophomore year. I'm not paying attention in sociology class, which sucks because my parents helped to pay a lot of money for my tuition. So looking back on that, it's kind of irresponsible of me. But I was just staring out the window, and I just remember not being happy with like the news and stuff. Back then, I don't know what was going on, but I was like, looking at this world that kind of sucks, and it's so like universally, like you could say that today, but all the people who just like step all over you and try to get over back then, that's like a New York phrase, right? To get over on somebody. A lot of people trying to get over on you or your friends and just shitty people. And you're looking around like, I'm not one of these people. So like, I'm looking at this stuff and I think it sucks. Thank goodness I'm not like that, but I don't need your help then. If you want to be like that, I don't need you in my life. I'll do it myself. So pretty DIY. That's how I was feeling that day.
Do you write the majority of the Outburst lyrics?
Yeah, I wrote, except for True, Learn to Care, which is our global warming song, and Mad at the World. I wrote them all.
You know what, JoJo? I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. I had a joke with Drago from Killing Time, because I know he writes a lot of lyrics too for their band. And it's like funny because the singer sings it with such conviction, and you associate that with like the singer having written the words, but that's not always the case, But there would be nothing if not for Brian's delivery. So it takes two, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What else we got? You know what's interesting? Hey, Jojo, any merch available online anywhere? Missed my opportunity last show at Brooklyn Bazaar.
Oh, you can grab the usual fare, shirts, hoodies, hats at coldcutsmerch.com. If you just Google Cold Cuts merchandise, they'll come right up, and then we're in there. We're in the drop down for Outburst. I also see a comment there about, it's not a question, but it's a comment. Last year at the Sound of Revolution, this girl took over one song. She went nuts, singing the whole song. Is she related to the band? It was really cool. So I guess that is kind of a question. Yeah, Sound of Revolution.
Where do you see that?
Andrew Vandenberg.
Okay, go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. I see it. Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a delay, but so that before the show, her name is Olivia, and I think she's from Germany. I think, and she was there for the show, and we're setting up. We're going on right before Terror, and she's like on the side talking to our lead singer, to Brian, saying like, "Hey, I really appreciate you guys doing The Hard Way. Like that song helped me get through like a lot of tough times in my life, and I was in a bad relationship, and that song just helped me stand on my own 2 feet." So Brian brings her over to us to say hello, make the introductions. And I'm like, I go to Brian, like, why don't you give her the mic for a verse or something, like let her reach down into the pit. And Brian's like, I'll do better than that. On the side of the stage, and come and sing the song with us. And also May H, who had just asked the previous question, who said The Hard Way was also her jam. She took the second verse. So somewhere out there's a cool picture of them both singing it. And I don't know, in 2019, the female empowerment stuff, it just felt so like cool to like allow these 2 girls to take the second verse and just rock out. They both looked like they belonged in a band themselves. That was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Have you ever been to a hardcore show in the Philippines? Have you guys ever played in the Philippines?
No. I've only been to the Philippines twice in my life, and the last time was like 1996. And they don't.
And you guys got to get to the Philippines, man.
Yeah, that it's just hard nowadays because schedules and everything. And back then when people were trying to get us there, but I have not yet been to a Filipino hardcore show. Although I know there's a cool scene nowadays.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Shout out to all the hardcore kids in the Philippines.
Yes.
Yeah, they definitely got it. I hear from them all the time. A big Filipino, hardcore scene, and great, passionate music people.
They really are. Yeah, Filipinos are a musical people anyway. So to get emotion with music, it's just a perfect match,
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about. Can you talk about? This is from Chucky Brown from Crazy Eddie. Can you talk about the 3-part documentary Miles to Go 30 Years Later?
Oh yeah. That coincides with the 30-year anniversary of Blackout. Is in the midst of doing a reissue. It's more like a 31-year anniversary because now it's 2020, but the process started in 2019. So 30 years, Miles to Go reissue, remastered. The demo is on it, and the accompanying piece is this covers compilation. I don't want to say tribute album because that sounds like way too important. It's just a compilation of all the bands from present day hardcore that took their favorite Outburst song and ran with it and did a cover, their version of it. And it's a companion piece to the 30-year Miles to Go reissue piece. There you go. And so, I always get a chance. I finally got to take this chance to name all the bands because I always forget them all. But there's 11 bands who took 11 Outburst songs and made it their own, and it's on Spotify now. And if you order the bundle from Blackout Records, you can get the Miles to Go reissue and this. Power Trip from Dallas, Texas, rest in peace, Riley. Wildside from Canada. Higher Power from the UK. Initiate from Southern California. Fury, also from Southern California. New York City's very own Crime Watch, again from Southern California. Misery, from the Ukraine, Big Boss.
Wow.
From New York City, Outskirts. From New Jersey, shout out to Tim and Ed Search from Revelation.
Oh, yeah.
Standoff, who is Ace, who turned into the Red Death guitarist, but his first band was Standoff, and they also did an Outburst song. It's just amazing that all these bands from today, like the music resonated with them, the lyrics and stuff. But
now this is what is this?
That's the cover. It's like the cover. It's called the Outburst covers record. I'm hesitant to say tribute album because that sounds like so like overblown. But it's just a bunch of bands doing covers of Outburst, their favorite ones. And thanks to Power Trip for getting us on Sirius XM with their version of Things When Things Go Wrong. That was amazing.
Cool, man.
Higher Power's blowing up. A lot of bands on that compilation from today that I've met a lot of them, and it was really nice to meet those kids. But that was in conjunction with to answer Chucky's question.
That's awesome.
There was a documentary that Blackout and Darren Nanos, the drummer of Outskirts and like Long Island hardcore legend, did the documentary with Bill and the guys and myself, and it's on YouTube. In 3 parts, and it's about 19 minutes long if you have this, time to kill. And it just goes from the beginning to the end of, the resurgence and how some band that was only around for like 4 years consistently, before the resurgence made such an impact. It's kind of, it's pretty nice, remembrance, memory,
That's awesome.
Remembrance of the history.
Hey, let's tie in our friend, our buddy, because I've seen you guys play a couple times recently. He was in the video that I played at the beginning of the show. Mikey DeJean's playing second guitar with you guys, and you guys have been getting out and playing a lot. So how did Mikey get involved in the band? Well,
Mike DeJean, we grew up with Mike DeJean. He lived 2 blocks from me, and in the general Astoria Park area where we grew up. He, was always he came into music like picking up his instrument a little bit later than us, and so we were already formed. But he went on, as to do Show of Force on the Newbury comp, and he did Breakdown, Crown of Thorns, and so many other bands that he discussed with you on his segment a couple of weeks back. In 2012, we did the Black and Blue Bowl in Webster Hall. Shout out to Vitalo from Backtrack for filling in on vocals that show. But Mike DeJean actually helped Vitalo fill in, and we asked him if he would play guitar for second guitar for that show because JR, I guess he just left it behind him. He just, some people just like feel like that's a part of their past and chapter's been closed. It happened. So of course we still wanted to play, and this is around the time when like I think Vitalo and like Busky from Maximum Penalty, shout out Busky, would say like, I don't know if you understand this, but there's like a whole generation of like younger kids who like really dig Outburst. So you should play this show. And that was a cool show that Black and Blue Bowl was with like Rancid headlined, and
that was a good one, bro.
Yeah, Sheer Terror. There was like a tribute to Rabies. And
with Todd Youth. Yep.
Yeah, I actually remember talking to Todd during the load-in and stuff, and he was like, "Hey, it's pretty cool you're playing again." And I was like, "Wow, you're freaking Todd Youth, man."
Yeah.
But DeJean, and we played again in 2017, and he was still down to do it. Mike's just a general consummate player. He's such a good musician, and to have him come from our block, remember when he was like roadieing for us and stuff, and and he's got such good chops and general all-around prince of a guy. So it was just a natural fit, and he's been gigging with us ever since, and he's helped us get a lot of those gigs actually. So shout out to Jean at the beach.
Cool. Yeah, at my fucking beach without me.
You should be there. I know.
Hey man, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You and me, 3 minutes. You ready?
Go.
Let's talk sports. What's up with the Knicks, man? I know you're a big Knicks fan.
Yeah.
What's going on, bro?
Well, they just cleaned house, and they have a new.
Again, they just cleaned house again and have the 20th coach in the past 20th years.
All that is true, but you got to start somewhere, and you got to give this front office a chance. So they've got Leon Rose and Worldwide West and these guys. For all you hoop heads out there, these are like qualified dudes. They're well respected, and they're doing things the right way. They have the draft capital and the picks to not do stupid things. So it's gonna be an organic thing the next time they're competitive.
But what? It's another 3-year plan.
They're already in like year 3 of this 3-year plan, so maybe they're on the ascent. Hopefully, we'll see. You can't predict these kind of things.
I know you're a big Knicks fan, so I just wanted to touch on that.
Yes.
And are you a Jets fan?
I am actually. So truth be told, I am a Dallas Cowboys fan. So doing this for the guys in Power Trip wasn't that hard of a stretch. But still paying tribute to the guys. But no, I grew up. AJ Novello from Leeway, and me were the Cowboys fans on the block.
Is that right? I can't picture AJ Novello even was interested in sports ever.
Can you picture him playing tackle football in the park? Because we did that too. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a story of like.
And are you a Mets fan?
Unfortunately, I am. Yes.
It's okay.
I just heard they blew a 5-run lead in the bottom of the 8th. So
yeah, they just blew it to the Yankees.
We're
near Port St. Lucie here, where they do spring training.
That's right.
So all right, that's our little sports segue. I know people bug out. People start bugging out. When we go into when we get into sports. I want to talk about when I was doing when I was here you go here just from Todd Hamilton. Cut the head off the snake. Jim Dolan has to go.
I agree 100%.
Jim Dolan owns the team.
Yeah,
he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Exactly. We can't. That's not realistic. But I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Ranger fans feel the same way.
Although he's got the Rangers in better shape, though. The Rangers are in a lot better shape than the Knicks are.
Yeah, the Knicks. You know what's fucked up about the Knicks is nobody wants to come here and play for the Knicks anymore. That's what stings. That's like been a couple guys that sort of said, "Hey, I'm coming to New York," and it hasn't really panned out. But like nobody wants to play for this organization.
I can't disagree with any of that. So we just have to wait and see. Try and see if we can grow this culture again. See how it works this time around.
All right. That said, when I was doing the research for this show, which I do, and which is made possible by the people that support me on Patreon. When I do research for the show, I came across this clip on YouTube. I got to play it. It's hilarious.
Is this a surprise?
What's that?
Like, do I know what this is or no?
I'm going to play it and then we'll talk about it. Okay.
All right.
Here we go. You know what? Let me give it. You know what? People might be confused. Let me talk about what it is. Apparently, it's you guys playing some sort of a wedding ceremony, and the guy who runs the hall tries to shut you guys down, right?
Very cool story. It is that's such a punk thing to.
All right, here we go. We'll watch a little bit of it. Here we go. Let me get this going.
You tell me how you think I should be! But that's the thing! You don't understand me! I'm trying to live my life for me! You think you take a man me? I want me for you fucking see that my life is my own to live my way! I do what I want to say, what I say. You don't understand me. No, you never will. All the club you had me. I've had enough of my fucking. This is not a spectator's fucking sport. Fucking hardcore!
Isn't that crazy?
Dude, that was awesome. I love what Mike DeJean posted. Old Malacca.
Yeah, that's some.
So all right, okay. So lay it on us. What's going on here?
Old Malacca kills the fun, said the kid. Yeah. So how this turned into a gig was that it's really good friends of Mike DeJean that were getting married in Boston. It's Burbly and Grease Kitten on Instagram. Shout out to you guys. Hope things are well, newlyweds. And they were getting married, and they are big hardcore fans. And instead of like getting a reception hall and like doing catering and, you know, doing things that they were conventional weddings, they decided to get a hall and have some bands play a hardcore show as the reception. And so they were big fans of Outburst. They like just wanted to see if we would be interested in playing their wedding. And so DeJean came back and kicked the idea around. And, you know, I don't think we played Boston 20 years or something. But the idea of it was kind of cool. It was like so organic that this couple who loves hardcore wanted a hardcore band to play at their reception. So we wound up going up there.
And boy, did they get one.
Yeah. And the funny thing is there were two other bands that played before us, and the owner didn't lose his shit like that. So I don't know what happened for us that he was, you know, so upset about. But he was in the back like really, really heated after the show, I remember. But as long as the bride and groom were happy, you know, kudos to them. Thanks for having us, and happy to be part of your happy day, you know.
That was awesome. I was like poking around doing research for the show, and I'm like, let me see what's on YouTube. You know, let me see if there's a good Outburst clip.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's this? I'm like, what's this?
Outburst the wedding band. Go figure.
It's awesome, man. You know, that's great. What else? Let me see if I want to just make sure I got all the pictures I wanted to post. I hate when the show ends and I realize here's a nice one of you guys. This is obviously I could tell where this is. This is backstage at Brooklyn Bazaar. Yeah. And this is, of course, the guy in the middle is, you know, Davey Gunner, who's now in End of Hope and who was formerly in Kraut. And this is I assume is before or after. This is the Astoria alumni. This is before or after one of those crushing Brooklyn Bazaar shows I saw you guys play.
Yeah, this is Black and Blue Bowl 2019. And Killing Time headline, you know, Wisdom in Chains. We were, I think, on the bill too. That was the Saturday. And there's so much pop culture going on in the shirt. Let me show you. So not only are we standing with Davey Gunner, who sang All Twisted for us at the end of our set, you know, everybody knows he was a frontman for Crowd, who were like our heroes, our high school heroes growing up. He was also a student at St. John's Prep, by the way. He's the one who got AJ into hardcore. So he's the godfather of St. John's Preparatory, New York hardcore family tree, I would say. But for him to sing with us after we spent, you know, our youth, like listening to him on record and, you know, listening to all the Crowd songs, he was there singing with us. You could find a clip of that on YouTube. In that picture, I'm wearing a Hillman College shirt, which is a shout out to A Different World, the NBC show dedicated to Black colleges. Brian's wearing a Power Trip shirt because we were such good friends with Riley and the guys. And then DeJean's wearing an Obituary shirt, just totally metal. And I think Power Trip and Obituary played together on a tour back in 2017 or 18.
And Davey's representing the Clash.
Is he? Yeah. Is that a Clash? Yes, he is. I could see that on his shirt. Yeah,
of course, you know, as a lot of people know, Kraut's first gig was opening up for the Clash.
That's amazing.
Bond. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So shout out to Kraut, shout out to Davey, End of Hope. Yeah, that was like a dream come true that day. I was like, we were all on cloud nine, you know.
That's incredible, man. That's great. Let me see if I got anything else. You know, I hate doing these things and then being like, fuck. Well, here's a cool one. I don't think we looked at this one, huh? What's going on here?
Yeah. This is CBGB's, the classic BJ Pappas perch angle. I want to say 89, maybe. And the cool thing about this is she managed to get, in some shape or form, all five of us in there. And then that's Gavin from Absolution and Burn.
Right.
taking the vocals on All Twisted, because we would close the show with that. So he knew all the words. He took the mic from Brian. He's like, I'm doing this. So he got all of us and Gavin in the shot.
That's cool. That's cool. Hey, we're winding it down. Let me bring on some of my guys, and we'll wrap it up. Want to thank you for coming on the show. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it,
man. Good, man. I knew it was going to be good. You know.
Oh, we could go on. You know, I'm sure.
We could talk sports for an hour, you and me, but we're not gonna go there. You know, but just real quick, you know, talking to my dad about it, about like sports right now, man, it is like, I'm not watching any sports. It's just, it doesn't interest me. I find it so odd that they're trying to push and say, hey, sports are happening. Meanwhile, like, who the fuck's watching sports right now?
At a time like this, I think I won't say unnecessary, because it does bring joy and like therapy to a lot of people. I'm not one of them. Like, if they canceled everything until everything was normal again, I would be fine with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not important. I mean, to some people it is, but not really in the grand scheme of things, you know? But I hear you, man.
Strange. Hey, Sid, what's happening?
Just chilling out, enjoying the stream here.
Yeah, it's a good one. You got anything for JoJo? You got a shout? It's Sunday shout out day. Want to shout anybody out?
Not necessarily. For once, I'm stumped.
Don't you have a show today after this?
In about 9 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, over on mixlr.com/SDK sound system.
Okay,
Waiting to play some good shit today.
Let me fly your banner real quick. There you go.
Boom.
All right.
Yeah, guys, I mean, just for a few people have been asking me this. Is it free? Well, obviously, you know, this is a free app to download. It's free to listen to. You don't have to pay shit. Stop being, in the words of Drew, stop being a cheap bastard. It's free. But, you know, if you guys are, you know, not doing nothing in the next few minutes, go check it out. Take a listen. You like it, you don't. It is what it is.
Hey, Sid, make sure you're pushing the show, right?
Oh, hell yeah, guys. And obviously, if you're on my Instagram, you do see that in my stories and all that good shit. It's going to be a fun fucking show, too.
It's going to be cool. And by the way, Sid the Kid is helping us get Vinny Stigma on the show, because as many of us know, Vinny Stigma has no Wi-Fi and is very not internet savvy. So
the creme de la creme was if I could actually get Craig, Bob Riley, and Stigma in the same room, then the apocalypse will truly fucking happen.
Right.
I got a funny Stigma story. If I had time for a funny Stigma story.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
So I live in near the Amityville Music Hall. It's like 15 minutes away, and Agnostic Front had played, I want to say it's like 2018 over there. And so I was like, you know, let me go over there and, you know, say hi to Pokey. I hadn't seen him in a while. So great show. It's time. Everyone's filing out, and I go up to say hi to Pokey. I help him break down, and we're catching up. And Stigma's breaking down himself. He's got all his guitars and, you know, his gears, putting it away. He looks over at me and Pokey as if to say, like, you guys like related or something? Like he did this with his fingers, like you got, and he looks at me as like, I know you. I'm like, yeah, but I'm just his friend. Now we're not related. Is it because we're Asian? Is that why? You know, Pokey's Chinese, right? And he laughed, and I was like, that you know, the Stigma laugh, right? He's like, you're good, you. And I just thought that was a pretty funny moment as I was trying to talk.
It's like in Stigma's world, it's all the same. You're Filipino, you know, Pokey's, you know, what's
Chinese?
Korean?
Chinese. Pokemon? I think so.
Like in Stigma's world, Stigma loves everybody. And it's
exactly. I know where he was coming from.
Right.
And the laugh kind of solidified that, but
yeah,
I thought that was pretty hilarious.
Hey, yes, we all know each other. Absolutely.
Right.
Here. I got my hair cut in Vinny Stigma's kitchen by Mike Gallo. That's Richie Sip, by the way.
Nice.
Is there a hardcore scene in the Philippines? Yes, we talked about this already. There absolutely is a hardcore scene in the Philippines, and it's very vibrant. And you know, it's
there never was one before, so I'm kind of cool that I'm stoked that there is. But it's kind of worldwide now, hardcore. I think.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely,
for a long time.
Yeah,
a long time.
Hey, let's bring Stephen on. Hey,
what's up?
How you doing? Would you run off on us?
Nah, I had a thing I had to do.
A thing. I had to go do a thing out here in Long Island, but I'm back.
I did the thing back here for this.
You know where East Setauket is, right, Steve?
What's that?
You know where East Setauket is? I was looking for some Long Island. Yeah, that's where we recorded the Blackout Comp and Miles to Go.
Oh, that's
What's
not
the
far
name?
from
What's
here
the
at
name of
all.
that studio?
Legend Studio.
I
Legend.
think I've been there.
Yeah, and the
I
producer,
think I shot some footage there for the Alago film. I think Borgo Pass was recording there, possibly. I think so. If it's is it in like a guy's house?
yeah, it was a guy's house.
Yep.
Um,
Here's the one. Who doesn't have a funny stigma story?
We all do. We all
Yeah.
do.
we're
Yeah.
a fraternity that way.
Yeah, this is true. Let me get this. What else? Yes, everybody loves stigma, Brenda. Absolutely. Everybody loves stigma. And don't forget, boys and girls, this Friday, Stigma is going to be on this show. So everybody got to tune in this Friday for Uncle Vinny. Uncle Vinny's coming on with Mike Gallo, Larry the Hunter, Tristan DeGraves, Matt Gray, and members of the Craze. Of course, it's in celebration of the Sunday Matinee on the Bowery live streaming show that we are doing. Please get your tickets at www.theboweryelectric.com and support this event that is supporting live music in New York City. That said, let me do a couple of shout outs. John Harmon, shout out to my Filipina current ex-girlfriend, Ravik, singer of Bay Area's Jack Killed Jill. All right.
Wow, look at that.
All right. There you go. Yes, it's a Friday show. Yeah, we're doing it's a bonus show this Friday in celebration of the Bowery Electric thing. Upstate Rick, how are you doing, Rick? How are you feeling? Hope you're well. Some of the best moments of my life were when Vinny Stigma said, Hey,
Exactly.
I
That's how
know
it
you.
They know you.
Hey, I know you. I know. Yes, love the Craze at their last day 7. Yo, we love the Craze. The Craze are the real deal, man. Mark Tolch, our ticket already got. All of our venues are closed. Might as well support yours. Yeah, well, it's a streaming event. Thomas Starkey. Shout out to peeps in the 718 area code and 212 as well. Well, thank you. Do you remember before? Does anyone remember before the 718 area code?
Yeah, just 212, right? That was it.
Bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just 212.
A little too early for my day.
Well, that was
what,
Long Island used to be 516, and now we have 631.
what's your shirt? What's your shirt? Someone's asking about your shirt. Book review. Huh?
It's the last great old school bookstore in Huntington.
Okay. Nobody asked about my shirt today. Anybody? Anybody recognize?
We all die.
Yeah, we all die.
Oh, nice.
Boom.
Yep, we all die. It's one of the few shirts that fits my fat ass now that I gained 25 pounds. Man, oh man.
Daryl's just all jacked up though.
Oh yeah, he's cutting into my camera here.
Ratbone's checking in. Great show today. Like your Casey Kasen's Top 100 show. Absolutely. Anybody? It is Shout Out Sunday. Last couple of minutes. If anybody wants to shout out anybody out, post it now.
We'll forever hold your peace.
Looking forward to Friday's show. Since Matt thinks Vinny has the best stories. Absolutely. Nice shirt. There you go. Who's that? Who's that, Stephen?
Who's that? That's
What's
Daryl.
that? Yeah. Daryl.
Boom.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Daryl's not even giving a fuck, man. Shout out to Stephen's cat, Daryl. All right.
That's it. Nice.
All right. There you go. Interesting. All right. Hey, great show. Yeah, we all die have a new record coming soon. Yeah, I got to get Pugsy on the show. He definitely should be on the show. Shout out to Arnie Stone. You hear that, Pop?
Yeah, Arnie.
We still miss you, Arnie.
Get him on the show.
We need wisdom.
People want wisdom, you know?
No, it's about that time. We've been waiting a little too long.
I know, man. I tried to get him on today, you know? and Jim, right? Shout out to Daryl. Absolutely. Hi to the Car Bomb Parade and Gorilla Glue from RMC, from Rampage Monster. What's up, Kevin? Hope you're well. All right, hey, let's wrap it up. Sid and Steven, I'll talk to you guys soon.
See you guys.
I'm about to do my radio show, guys. Peace.
Awesome.
Jojo.
Thank you, man.
I love you, bro. Thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for being a part of it. It was a real pleasure.
Oh, hey, I really appreciate it. And shout out to everybody who filled up the comment box. I saw a bunch of them. I pretty much saw them all, but thanks for contributing. It makes your content so great, so thanks for doing this.
Absolutely, man. I'll talk to you soon, man.
Okay, man. Be good.
Well, there you have it. New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Another great show. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you so much for supporting the show. We got a lot of good stuff heading into the future, a lot of good ideas coming up. I'm working on a cool merch line to drop with some cool stuff. Shouts to all punk and core peeps. Right on, Chico. You gotta. Who the fuck's calling me? Oh. Scott Koenig, Biohazard Fear Factories manager. Fear Factories manager calling me. Don't you know I'm doing a fucking show? Drummers make the best guests. Yeah, see, that seems to be. Hey, Brenda, I hope you're well down here in Florida. Thank you, Fernando. Wednesday shows. Ed Stasium on Wednesday is going to be fantastic. Like I said, working on some merch, some cool stuff we're going to do. We're going to have a shirt with the show logo, a couple of things, a couple surprises. It's going to be great. We're also going to have a show that says "Do good things and good things will come to you." So that's gonna be a show, a shirt as well. So there you go. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you on Wednesday for Ed Stasium. Do good things, and good things will come to you.